Hi folks, it's Telemann time again. One of the things that I've been particularly enjoying about putting these videos out has been hearing from people from all over the world who have found them for one reason or another and have written to say which videos they've been watching or what they've been enjoying and what they've been learning. And it's been great to hear from all sorts of new people I've never met, from, as I say, all over the world. So somebody I heard from recently is in Argentina, and she wrote to say that she's been learning the Telemann A Minor Sonata, and so she'd found the video on the second movement. And she wrote to say it was really helpful. I was just wondering if there might be a video on the fourth movement coming out, because I could really do with some tips. So I wrote back and said, I haven't really got any plans for what I might do next. I'm just making it up as I go along. So why not the fourth movement of the Telemann A Minor? Great piece. So once again, the link to a copy of this, an online copy of this, is under the video. Do print it out and play along the fourth movement of the Telemann A Minor Sonata. The first major dilemma in this is what to do about the bowing at the beginning. Because you think, oh, it starts on an upbeat quaver, I'll start on a back bow. Oh bother, now I'm backwards. Forever. I still think I start on a back bow. And then just tuck another forward bow in here. And then here we are, the same way round. Couple of fingering tips. What you cannot do here is play like a windmill across those two strings. I would stop both of the A's. Same again here, fourth finger over. And again, 4 for all of these D's. Works out all right apart from that, doesn't it? Shall we try it together from the top? Not too quick. So we'll try 1 and 2. Just one other thought about bowing. In bar 6, you've got to make the phrase really clear, haven't you? That it finishes there and then. So just look after the quaver in the middle of that bar. You've got to play it and it's got to have a decent sound. But if you lighten it slightly, then you can really attach the bow to the string and make sure we hear that as a really good, clean, new start. Shall we go on? Bar 11 with its upbeats. Let's stop there a minute, there's a lot to think about in there. So the upbeat to 11. It's really slinky this, isn't it? It's such a contrast to that in the next bar. I would just glue your bow to the string and make that as lugubrious and as treacly as you possibly can. And then make that a bit busy. And the same thing with the bowing. If you just slightly let go of that, then you'll hear those 3 as the lead into the next bar. Same here. Chordal fingering at the end of 14. 2 on the G, 3 on the C. 4 for the A, straight away at the beginning of the bar. 16. Bar your first finger between the F sharp and the B. G goes down at the beginning of the bar, but for the C, don't hop this across because it's going to tie you in knots later in the bar. Just use your third finger, who should be hanging around in the right sort of vicinity for playing a C. But then 2, 4. Now what? If we go back here, that's a bit awkward across the string. And then, oh help, where's that? It's not massively elegant, is it? I have a better suggestion, I think. So this is 16, 17, 18. Stick out your fourth finger. Can you reach a D sharp here? Then bring your 1 up to the F sharp here. And now look. There we are, right ready to play that A at the top. I'll just talk you through that again. Bar 18, you're in first position. Stick out your 4. Bring a 1 up here. And I would stay there because in 22, we're going to need to be up here. So I think I'd stay put. I'd tuck a cheeky slur in here, the last 2 semiquavers of 20. Fourth finger across for the B. So 22 sees us up here because we're going to need to be for what follows. Let's try that nice and steadily from the upbeat to 11. Last quaver of 10. We'll try 1 and 2 and 1. Now usually I would say, oh dear, we're in the wrong part of the bow for playing a whole bunch of semiquavers. But actually, bear with it, because if you start 22 down here, you've got plenty of bow for the massive long slur in 24. So don't panic in 22 when you find yourself down towards the heel of the bow and you see a bunch of semiquavers coming up and you think, oh crumbs, this is not where I wanted to be. It's fine and it works itself out in 24. Let's talk about fingering first though. 22. So we're up here with a 4 on the E at the top of the A string. That's where we finished the previous phrase. And we're going to stay there. Second finger across for the G. Look at my 4 not coming off that top fret. Just, you can leave it. Once you've found it, leave it there. And then when you come back to it, you're not going to have to look for it. It'll be exactly where you left it at the end of the previous bar. And just reach back very slightly to find this C natural. And here we are back with this 4. 2 across. Where's the B? It's here, isn't it? We're not going to bother to stretch all the way back there. It's on the top fret. So use your 4 that's on the E as a guide and just add that third finger. Find the B there. Let's stay there. Second finger for the A. And here, if we were a wind player, we'd breathe there, wouldn't we? So let's breathe as a string player too and take that as the opportunity to shift. Does that make sense? That was 27, we were up here. There's a possibility of playing an open string there, isn't there, to get down on, but I just think the sound is so different. If you play the triplets with a stopped A, and then you play an open A string, the contrast for me is too great. They belong together in terms of phrasing, and it seems a bit of a shame to go for such a different sound. So stick to the same A we've been using, and then shift as you breathe. So we're going to go from 22, and we really are going to go steadily. Just because there's a lot to think about in here. We'll go halfway through the bar, so we'll come in after 2. And remember, we were actually quite a long way down the bow for these, weren't we? So where the semiquavers start, let's try 1 and 2. Take a breath. I wonder whether you ran out of bow in 26. So we started nicely towards the heel, it was fine. And this was good. But then we got to 25 and we were at the tip. And at 26, our bow is suddenly not long enough. So in 25, you need to take any opportunity you possibly can to work your way back towards the heel. So at the end of 24, we are probably pretty near the tip of the bow. But by the time we start 26, you need to have just almost imperceptibly worked your way down the bow in the semiquavers in 25. So you've got lots of it to come back on. It is a tricky passage, that. Let's just do it again. This is 22. After 2, not any quicker for a minute. So we'll try 1 and 2. Work through the bow. Bit quicker, do you think? Same place, 22, just a little bit quicker. Let's try 1 and 2. Very good 4th finger practice, isn't it? If you're having trouble with your 4th finger, you need to invent some exercises to build strength into it, because there really is not a better fingering for that passage. So if you're finding your 4th finger is getting tired, just do lots of it, because he's got a lot of work to do in there and you really can't delegate and use another finger instead. Good, let's go on. Next section coming up. Back bow again. And then another forward. Okay, so you need a 3 on this C, so that you've got a finger left to play the G with. Yeah, that's the very beginning of that second section. Really important. Forward bow. Hold the C down here. Watch the fingering in 34 here. You need a 3 on the C, 2 on the G. So you've got the whole of that chord outlined at the start of that bar. And I would go for an open D. So in the same way that these 3 notes are on 3 different strings, I would deliberately put the D on the open string, so all 3 notes of that chord are on different strings as well. Hold the C down again in 35. And this is another great moment of, I love that note, the F natural. Make sure it's just got really good, convincing shape. Not too quick in the bow, I think. We've got a lot of crotchets in here that are quite lively, so lots of really speedy bowing, and I think this is just not the moment for it. I would really slow down in there. I don't mean slow the speed down overall, I just mean slow down the speed at which you move the bow so that that note has not so much energy but really good contact with the string. And it's okay then, isn't it, up to the end of the phrase at the start of 42. Let's do that together then. From the double bar. On a back bow, 1 and 2. Gonna go on. Enough of that for now. So this is 42 then. It starts really on the second semiquaver, doesn't it, of that bar. The first one is the end of this, and then I think the fingering is reasonably self-explanatory. I would play the first semiquaver of 42 on a fourth finger because we don't want it to stick out too much at the end of that phrase. But I would play open string for that one that's on the way up to the E. So we started 42 with a 4, but then open, and then a bit less dynamically, more heading for that F. And then the second time it comes, I wonder about, rather than pointing out the phrase quite so much, I wondered about steaming through it the second time, because we're building up all the time to 47. So the first time, 42, I would make it go there and then start again. But I wonder this time about making the thought a much longer one, so you don't pause for that little moment of breath in 45. See what you think about building that phrase all the way through. Then when you get to 47, we're going to be up here, aren't we? There's not much choice about that. While you're playing the B flat, move your 1 onto the top fret. And then come down to the C sharp here. And then I'd put another back bow. And again, I would be inclined to finish that with a 4 rather than a triumphant open string at 50. So just to whiz through the fingering, 45, you're going to be here. On the open string, move yourself up here. Put the 1 across. Come down to the C sharp. And then tuck another back bow in. Really short in this stuff. Really enjoy the bass line that's heading down there. Should be what happens there, shouldn't it? But you just happen to play the top one at 50. Should we do that together? This is 42, starting on the second semiquaver, so we won't bother with the downbeat for now. 2 and 1. Let's have another go at the same thing. Same thing, 42 from the second semiquaver. And 1. contrast in there, isn't there, between how different ways of using the bow. So starting some of those semiquavers with tiny, tiny, tiny amounts of bow, but it's got to grow, hasn't it? A length of bow that you use, and then less again, and then less again. But by the time you get there, 47, you should be using the whole jolly lot. It's such a joyous bit. But then this, so short and really tidy. It's such characterful writing, I think. I love the way Telemann writes for gamba. It just suits so completely perfectly. Let's go on. This is the end of 50, and we're back in our slinky triplets. 1 and 2. We'll just stop there a second. What do we need to think about in here? 51. I'd use a fourth finger here to keep that on the same string, because, just hold that thought for a second, here, that is all on one string, isn't it, in 54. So I would make 52 match in terms of bowing. We could have done 52 and it would have been quite fun, but we can't really do that in 54, and I think the two of them need to have the same kind of character. So fourth finger in 52. Apart from actually three notes from the end, because these three lead on, I'd play an open string. So you start with a 4, open string, chordal finger here, 2 to 3, 4. And here's another one where you can bar that first finger across, can't you? So 56, once you put your 1 down, keep it across, you've still got the G sharp down, so all of that harmony is outlined for the whole of that bar. Let's try that together. This is the upbeat to 51. It goes 1 and 2. I'm going to go on. We've been here before, haven't we? We're just lower in the instrument, so it's got a slightly darker colour. Nothing really new to think about, I don't think. Open A string, because it's on its way to the B. And again, as with when we had it the previous time, the second time it comes, how about just building all the way to here, and then tuck that little slur in again at the end of 64, just those 2 semiquavers, because it'll be a complete disaster if you don't get to 66 on a forward bow and out the tip. So we're going to start together from 58, from the second semiquaver of the bar. 2 and 1. Going on. And again, we've been here before, haven't we? And the fingering is exactly the same as it was when this passage was higher. And the bowing, that thing of not running out on that big long back bow, let's just talk through it. So 65, Start 66 on a fourth finger. And don't worry about being near the heel of the bow. Because right about now you're going to be very grateful for it. And again, you need to have worked your way back down by the start of 70. Top string. Bring your 1 up. So while you're playing the 4, this is what's happening here. And another back bow on that top F. Yeah, did you get that? This is 70. Need to be near the heel. Open string. While you're playing the 4, bring the 1 up here. And another back bow. Let's play just that last section together. 66. 66. Actually, let's go from 65 because it gets us into it, doesn't it? 65. 1 and 2 and. Stay near the heel. Work back. Let's play it through then, maybe without the repeats, but at a fairly sensible speed, right from the top. See you at the end. 1 and 2. How did it go? You're going to want a continuo part, aren't you? So I will do that. We'll do it at a couple of different speeds. We'll do it with the repeats, and we'll start with a fairly sensible, but still lively. I think one of the hardest things actually before we do that, let's just talk about playing fast movements, but playing them under speed. So the risk is you can play something, let's pick a speed. And if I play at that speed, but with that change the character to make it sound lively, but without actually playing any quicker. So keep that speed in mind. It's completely different, isn't it? But I didn't play it any quicker. I just moved my bow more speedily. Just notes everywhere that you can possibly lift things. Keep it on its toes, even though you're playing it and you know that you're playing it under speed. You've got to give it as much life as you possibly can, and it will make it easier to speed it up when we want to do that. I'll play you a continuo part. As with the other movements, I'm going to play the continuo part with a metronome going, but I'm going to put it through my headphones so that you don't hear the ticking, you just know that I'm in time, and that way I know that I'm not causing you problems by coming and going with the speed of the continuo part, but you don't have the annoyance of the metronome ticking over for you. I'll count you in, and I'll count in 2 bars so that we're absolutely together at the beginning, and we'll do both repeats. 1, 2, 1, 2. try it a bit quicker. Here we go then, I'll count you 2 bars in again and we'll do both repeats. 1, 2, 1, 2.